Hey YouTube, welcome back to our channel.
We're on the floor.
Okay.
Alright guys, welcome back to our Healthy Gains series. This is episode 3. So today we've got a sit down video for you. We're going to go over our progress from the last 2 weeks, share with you guys what's been working, what maybe hasn't been working, where we're at with our progress, and how we're going to be moving forward, making adjustments to push us even further to where we want to be. So we're going to start off with mindset. So mindset is a super important part of reaching any kind of goal. If you're not in the right mindset, chances are you're probably not going to reach your goals. You're not going to set yourself up for success, and you're more likely to start over again and again and again and again. So with that said, we're going to get into some of the things that have set us up for success over the last 2 weeks, and that will continue to propel us forward over the next however many weeks. So Colin, I'll let you start with what you've been doing on a daily basis to get yourself in the right headspace.
Yeah, I think the most important thing for me has been actually the night before. You have to make sure that you're setting yourself up for the next day, kind of like what she was talking about, setting yourself up for success, getting yourself in the right mindset. So something that I do is just make sure that I get my whole plan figured out for the next day. That's not just eating and lifting, it's my whole life. So go over my schedule for the day or for the next day, and then I'll lay out my clothes, I'll get my bag ready to go, I'll get my first meal ready to go. So my first meal of the day that I've been actually enjoying a lot is oats or oatmeal. So I'll actually I'll weigh out all the ingredients, I'll have it put into Tupperware, and then I'll have it basically ready to just add milk and microwave in the morning. So it's really quick and easy. So that way when I wake up and I'm feeling terrible,
because it's so early.
because it's 5 in the morning, I'm like, oh, sweet, I have everything ready to go. And I can just kind of just roll right into my day without trying to figure out what's going on, you know, as Katie's trying to sleep. And that way it's foolproof. So, and it's just simple, and I know I'm gonna do it.
And that way you can get your first meal in. You're not rushing out the door without any food.
Right.
And then you don't have to kind of backload your calories later on. So
and that's always been the hardest part for my nutrition, is that first meal, because of situations like that where you go to bed so motivated and then you wake up and you're like, oh man, I'm not that hungry, or I'm tired and I don't really know what I'm doing, or I'm rushed. Like I don't have enough time to get to work. So I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Just grab a banana? That's great, but that's only, you know, a couple hundred calories maybe. So making sure that I have that first meal ready to go sets me off on the right foot. So
yeah, kind of going off of that, I like to plan my day in advance. So the day before, I like to take a look at what my schedule looks like for the day, what I have to get done for my clients, any appointments, calls I have with clients, content that I have to create, all of that stuff. And then I also schedule in my workouts. So I schedule in a specific time for my workout, and then I'll schedule of my other responsibilities or work stuff around that. And that just makes it so much easier, because then I know I'm gonna get my workouts in, I know I'm gonna get the work that I need to get done, and I'm not just pushing my workout or work stuff back because I'm not planning and didn't manage my time well enough. So that's a huge thing. And then also playing off of that, I like to plan my day of eating in advance. I don't always do this, but it is nice just to plug in all of my meals. So I know that I'm hitting my macros. I know I'm hitting my calorie goal at the end of the day, because if you hit your macros, you'll hit your calorie goal. I know that I'm not going to be off track because I didn't plan, or I don't have meals ready to go, I don't have a protein prepared, or whatever it is. So that's something that I also recommend to my clients, is to plan your day of eating ahead of time. But we can talk more about that later, but that's something that sets me up for success a lot too, is just planning ahead and making sure that you're thinking about the future not that you have to plan so far in advance all the time, but just taking some time to kind of figure out what your day is going to look like and what you need to do to be able to get everything done that you need to get done is so helpful. And with that, I guess we can talk about some of the other daily habits that we've incorporated too that just make us feel better overall. And one of those things for me is getting fresh air, getting some movement in outside of the gym. So I love walking. I think walking is so underrated, and for me it's just a time where I can just clear my head, and it's definitely a stress reliever for me. Working out is too, but just breaking up my day with little bits and pieces of movement here and there, and especially when I'm able to get outside when it's nice out, the sunshine does wonders for your mental health too. So that's one of my daily non-negotiables, whether it be outside or not, just to get, you know, 30-minute walk in. That also helps with my digestion a lot, and it increases my NEAT, which we'll get into in another video, but all of those things ultimately can help you reach your goals faster, or in a more efficient and effective way. You don't want to be sitting 24/7. That's not going to make you feel good physically or mentally. So that's one of my daily non-negotiables. And then last thing I'll mention is my water intake has improved tenfold, and that is something that I've made a priority. Obviously you should make this a priority no matter what, because you need water. For me, it's definitely easy to slack on water intake. I just don't really like water that much, but I have been drinking 75 ounces every single day for the last 2-3 weeks. And before it was 60 ounces, which is more than half of my body weight in ounces. So it's not like it's terrible, but for me and how active I am, I know that I need more than that, and I feel better with more. So that has also been, I think, a game changer for me, and especially with my digestion too. I think I was getting a little dehydrated there for a while. Obviously, the more water you drink, the more easy it is to do the thing. So I just wanted to throw that in there real quick. That's also become one of my daily non-negotiables, hoping to at least get to a gallon here in the next few weeks. Okay, we talked a little bit about mindset. Now we're gonna move into nutrition, and I'll let you start.
Yeah, so we both use MyFitnessPal. Highly recommend it. It's a really great app, super easy, and really great way to just hold yourself accountable. So the way that I've gone about just these first couple of weeks is eating the same exact foods every single day. So I tracked my first day, got to my goal that I was wanting to get to with the same makeups, and then I've just been doing that every single day to a T, basically the same times, just because my days look almost identical as the week goes on. So it's been pretty easy for me in that regard. So just to kind of give you guys an idea of where I've been at, I've been right about that 4,200 calories. Again, nothing's ever going to be perfect to a T, but this is about as close as it's going to get. So in a typical day, I'm right around 470 grams of carbs, 120 grams of fats, and then 280 to 290 grams of protein, depending on just a couple of different serving sizes here and there. But that's 45% of my day being carbs, that's 30% of my day being fat, and then 25% being protein. So that's exactly where I want to be. And I've been feeling pretty good with it too. When I've looked at my body weight, I started off at about 193.4 pounds, and then just to kind of give you guys an idea of where I've been just in this last week. And of course, there's always going to be fluctuations because of digestion or just what you're carrying with water, you know, things like that. But just at the same time every morning, in this last, I'll give you the last 3, 4, 5 days, I was 196, 195.2, 195.8, and then 195, basically even. So I've definitely been higher, but I've definitely been jumping around a little bit. So this is kind of why I wanted to just keep my numbers the exact same each day, kind of let my body adjust for the first 2 weeks, because it is quite a big adjustment period from not really tracking a whole lot and then getting dialed in and then upping those calories a lot. So now that we've gotten through 2 weeks, I'm gonna get a lot more dialed in, where I'm gonna weigh myself every single day, right in the morning, and then make sure I'm on top of my MyFitnessPal, so then I can really start to pick up trends and then be able to change my goals week by week. So this next week coming up, I'm gonna keep it the exact same again, see what my body weight's doing, and then when we get into week 4, then I'll let you guys know what my plans are. Because if I feel like I'm putting on too much fat too quickly or just body weight too quickly, then I'll dial it back. But if I feel like I'm leveling off and I like where I'm at, then maybe I'll bump it up just a little bit. But it's gonna be very minute changes, nothing crazy with it.
Something I will say too is this is why it is so important to go slow and not just jump right into things and go from 0 to 100 so fast. You want to be able to optimize the amount of muscle mass you're building. You want to be able to feel good.
It's been really good. I've noticed a lot better strength in the gym, recovery times. I'm sleeping well. The only issue that I've noticed is with my digestion. So one of my goals when we started doing this was to eat more vegetables and fruits because I'm guilty as charged. I did not eat a lot of those. So with the added fiber in my diet, I'm writing about the RDA, the recommended level for men for dietary fiber, but it was a huge jump from where I was. And so my stomach, my intestines are like, what are you doing? So that's another reason again why I'm kind of easing into this, making sure my body adjusts, and then we'll kind of start to pick up trends from there. So, but aside from that, it's been really good.
Okay, so for me, I'll start with week 1. My starting weight was 114.8. If you guys haven't watched our very first episode of this, go back and watch it. You'll kind of learn more about what our specific goals are and what our specific starting points were and goals macro-wise and that kind of thing. So anyway, so my average protein was 107 grams. I wanted to stay between 105 and 110, so that was good. Average amount of carbs, 274. I wanted to stay between 275 to 285, so pretty close. And then average fat was 55, and I wanted to stay between 50 and 55. So all in all, pretty consistent. That comes out to an average of 2,020 calories, which is about 30 short from my 2,050 goal. Not too far off though. And then my average fiber intake was 33 grams, so that's pretty good. The RDA for women is 25 grams. Another general rule to go by is consuming 14 grams of fiber per 1,000 calories. So that would be an average of 29 grams for me, at least where my calories are right now. So an average of 33 isn't too far off. Typically, I don't want to go over 40. So anything between 25 and 40 is good for me. My weight over the course of that first week, my weekly average was 115.8, so 1 pound higher than my starting point. I weigh myself daily under the same exact conditions so that I can take a weekly average, because like he said before, your weight is going to fluctuate due to a number of different factors. So just because you're 2 pounds higher one day than you were the day before doesn't mean that you're gaining 2 pounds of fat. That's why we recommend taking a weekly average, weighing yourself daily so you can detect those trends more accurately. So that's where I was after the first week. Because I on average was 1 pound higher than the first week, I kept my macros the same. Week 2, my average protein came out to be 104 grams, average carbohydrate intake 285, fat 52, fiber 34. Again, all pretty consistent. I did have one untracked day within that second week, and I didn't hit my macro goals that day, but I was roughly around the same caloric intake that I wanted to hit. So that kind of threw off my averages a little bit, but all in all, even with that untracked meal, I'm sitting pretty good. And my average weight for week number 2 was 116 pounds. And so that was about a 0.2 pound increase from the week before. I did on day 1 of week 3, which was Friday, October 15th, I weighed in at 114.4, which was a significant drop from my weekly averages. I think that my digestion is kind of just getting used to me increasing my fiber, even though I do a good job of getting my 25 grams minimum of fiber every single day. I think I'm doing a little bit better of spreading it out evenly throughout the day. And same thing with just my calories overall. Before starting this lean bulk, was kind of in the habit of backloading my calories. So I would eat the majority of my calories during my last meal of the day, which for me does not make me feel the greatest, and that can affect your weight the next morning, and it can affect your digestion and your recovery, your biofeedback, your sleep, all of that stuff. So I've gotten better at spreading my calories throughout the day, evenly, eating more at the beginning of the day and then making sure that I'm not backloading again for the end of the day. So I think my digestion is regulating a little bit. I've been more regular. I know this might be TMI for some people, but digestion is an important indicator of gut health and your overall health. So it is important that you do pay attention to that, especially when you're increasing calories. For week 3, I've decided to keep everything the same, staying between 105, 110 grams of protein, 275 to 285 grams of carbs, and then 50 to 55 grams of fat. And I personally like to give myself a range. We like that flexibility. I'm gonna keep it the same, see what my weight does. If I'm averaging, you know, where I was at the start, obviously I'm probably gonna increase for week 4, and it'll probably be a bigger increase than 50 calories. It'll be 100 to 150 calories depending on what my weight does. I'll kind of move on to how I'm performing in the gym. I feel like since really honing in on my nutrition and spreading my calories out evenly, hitting my macro goals, and with the increase, my strength is going up. I feel a lot better in the gym. Not that I didn't feel good before, but I do feel like I can push a little bit harder, and I'm definitely kind of in that mindset now too, because I have a specific goal where, you know, I just want to push as hard as I can, and it's been great. I've been loving my workouts. I've been getting in and getting out of the gym and just feeling so accomplished. I'm just looking forward to how I can keep improving, and I feel like, are you about to laugh?
Yeah, 'cause your hand was like...
Oh, sorry. Anyway, I've been feeling really good. I am definitely ready to increase my calories, of course, depending on what my weight does, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna need an increase soon. I think we can kind of move into just recovery overall. If you want to talk a little bit about your training.
Yeah, I'll keep it pretty short for the most part, but split's been going well. I've been feeling good. I haven't had any issues with like injuries, knock on wood. I always take about 20 to 25 minutes to warm up before every workout. I'll incline walk on a treadmill for 10 to 15 minutes, just at like a 3.5 to 4 mile an hour pace, so it's not too fast. I mean, when you're at a 15% grade, it does start to get a little bit taxing toward the end, but it's really just to get the blood flowing, just get the circulation going, regardless of if it's a leg day for me or an upper body day or whatever. And then from there, I'll go from that general warm up into more of a dynamic build up, and that'll be more lifting specific. So if I'm gonna squat that day, I'll do a squat build up. If I'm gonna bench or I'm gonna do shoulders or biceps, whatever, I'll build up to whatever that first exercise is. I feel like that's helped me a lot. And then just finishing with a quick little static stretch at the end of each workout has worked wonders. Usually it's only 5 to 10 minutes. Static stretching being just like your typical holds, like your toe touches or your side overhead reach. Just those little basic stretches thrown in have helped a lot. And then something that I've picked up in the last year or two is contrast showers. And that's kind of one of my daily non-negotiables. So contrast shower is basically just where you go for about 3 minutes of as hot as you can tolerate in the shower, which for most of us is about as hot as it lets you go. And then you immediately switch over to a minute of as cold as you can go. And of course, that's kind of an adjustment. You got to work on your breathing a little bit to make sure you get through that, because it is mentally tough. And then you cycle back through that. So the science behind it, again, is based on circulation. So when you get cold, all the blood goes to your organs, and then when you get hot again, then it redistributes all the blood back out to your extremities. So it basically improves your circulation, gets better nutrient-rich blood out to your cells, and then basically just increases recovery through that method. So the only other thing that I love besides the recovery is just the mental boost that I get from it. So it makes me a lot more alert, a lot more focused, especially when it's in the middle of the day or mid-morning is kind of when I take them. When I'm starting to kind of come down from my pre-workout or my workout high, you start to get kind of that midday lull. It kind of keeps me going, keeps me ready to tackle that next goal. So yeah, something that I like to do.
Yeah, that's super cool. I don't do that. I hate cold showers.
They're tough.
But going back to your warm-up, something that I have been more intentional about is warming up before my workouts. And I've noticed a huge difference in how I do perform as well, especially within these last couple of weeks. It's definitely easy to kind of get lazy, but even a 5-minute dynamic warm-up can do a lot for how you perform in your workout and how you recover too. So if you're not warming up before your workouts, start.
You're missing out.
Yes, and of course it's something I always recommend to my clients. Anyway, what else? I wanted to talk about sleep a little bit. I feel like my sleep is getting better, and especially now that I'm not backloading all of my calories. I'm definitely kind of prone to waking up every few hours and not being able to go back to sleep for a while, and I feel like that has started to happen less and less now that I'm not eating so much before bed. I think that kind of wraps up our progress, as I think this video is getting kind of long. This is where we're at after 2 weeks of our lean bulk, and we'll be back in another couple of weeks with another update just like this after 1 full month. Next week we'll have another vlog for you, whether it be a meal prep Monday or a full day of eating or more lifting footage, week in the life, whatever.
Be a little bit less talking and then more just kind of showing, I think.
Yep. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below if you're enjoying this Healthy Gains series so far, if you learned anything new, what you want to learn more about, what you want to see more of, and I think we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Peace, guys.
All right. Bye.